Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading. It's going to be your reading here from June 23rd. June 23rd until the 29th. I hope you're doing well, Gemini. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Gemini, I'm hearing you have nothing to prove. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. And in fact, I feel like you're outgrowing people in your life. I'm just going to stay silent for a second. I feel like you're outgrowing people. Yep. I feel like you're outgrowing people here, Gemini. I'm going to say it again. I feel like you're outgrowing people. I feel like you're outgrowing people, Gemini. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Let's take a look here, Gemini. You did pull the Death card in your challenge. Your reading's good, by the way. But it's so funny that the Death card is in the challenge because this Death card energy isn't anything new. It's already something you've been going through. What is the Death card? Before we even jump into your read, I'm going to pull the rest of these cards here. But what is the Death card? Well, the Death card, of course, is transformation. It symbolically represents the ending of something. And it can be difficult and hard, but I think you've been going through this Death card for a while. Like, this isn't anything new. It's interesting about the Death cards that sometimes the Death card archetype takes time. Like, sometimes it can take a long time. Because if you think about it, it's the slow decay of things that are just withering away, right? So specifically with Neptune being in Aries deals with our identity, our sense of self. Neptune being there, Neptune is the great dissolver. It dissolves things, it disorients things, but it reorients things, right? It dissolves old forms. With Saturn being in Aries, conjunct Neptune, like all of our identities are being reshaped, and because it's Saturn and it's Neptune, these are bigger planets, generational planet, Neptune. It takes time for it to unfold, and for things to be reshaped. But nonetheless, there's these great strides where we can realize, like, I am totally not my old self no more. I'm like someone totally new, or I'm growing a lot here and I'm outgrowing things. Like, I'm changing. I definitely think you're changing here, Gemini. I touch my head because there's just so much. Maybe I get it from my mom. Whenever never mind. My mom like tends to touch her head. Whenever she's overwhelmed, she's always like. Anyways, but I think here with the Death card, what I was saying is that it's the slow decaying, withering away process. So this is like your old self that you've been shedding, and this new self that's emerging, and you've outgrown a lot of things, people, places, situations. And I say this too, the astrology backs it up. I mean, Saturn, Neptune, and Aries is in your 11th house of fringe connections, networks, and Jupiter and Cancer is in your 2nd house. And that's where the square energy is. That's where the sun is. That's where the sun's going to conjunct Jupiter. And so the 2nd house is like your sense of self, the way in which you support yourself, wanting to support yourself in different ways. It's also the house of your money and your resources, your values. So that's expanding. And at the same time, it could be clashing with old things. So hold on. What is your advice here? You pulled the Page of Swords here. I would follow your curiosity here. Listen, whatever has decayed, whatever it is that you're letting go of. Let me just wrap up here on this Death card archetype. It's the slow withering away and decaying process of something, right? But while things are decaying, what always happens? It fertilizes something new, right? So there's this new rebirth here. You're in a very potent, fertile energy here, Gemini, when it comes to like being able to generate and create new things at this time. And in fact, I think you may already know this because the Nine of Pentacles is in your current energy, which represents receiving rewards from your hard work. So you put in the work, you put in the effort, and like you're having some form of a glow up here. Or you're on the verge of it. No, Austin, that's not me. I said you're on the verge of it. Let me get to the outcome here. But I would follow your curiosity here with the Page of Swords as your advice, because all there is new things to explore. The Death card, you can't go back to what already is, what has withered away is not there anymore. So you might as well be open and receptive to new things. Let's keep going, Gemini, because there's so much. We haven't even gotten into who you're reading. You pulled Jupiter. See, y'all just think I'd be saying shit. I know what I'd be saying. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is actually the planet of positivity, growth, expansion, abundance, surplus. Also does deal with trust, joy, faith, and optimism in the future, and just optimism, joy, faith, and life. And Jupiter, like I said, Sun's conjunct Jupiter in your second house. Talk about a glow up. The second house, yes, it deals with your money, resources, but it also deals with your overall well-being as well. So, and there is the square to Saturn in the 11th house. So it's like there could be a clash when it comes to like friendships, when it comes to certain networks or communities, groups. And maybe I feel for you, Gemini, it's like you're outgrowing things that were once fun and enjoyable before, but it's like you've outgrown it. You pull this benefactor card. It says grace and generosity here. So benefactor, benefic energy. Jupiter is the great benefic, so it does bring blessing. And also Jupiter is generous and brings generosity. So there's a lot of generosity energy surrounding you here in this reading. Austin, this sounds too good to be my read. Okay. We haven't even gotten into the read, so hold on. You pulled this following the path of another, your path is being redirected to where it should be. That's another thing I pick up here intuitively as well. That I think there is some type of new beginning here. I hate saying the word new beginning, but because it just feels, you just hear it all the time, right? It's always a new beginning with everything. I mean, there's always cycles in life, and we're constantly in new cycles. But I think you're wanting to go maybe your own route with things here. Maybe you're ready to break away from things that you were once a part of before, but maybe you feel like you've outgrown them again, right? So it's like you're realizing, and what's being revealed this week is, or what has been being revealed to you is like this new path. And maybe you did get detracted or distracted and got off course. But why do I feel like that's not something that's like totally new and recent in your energy? It could be, but it's like not as recent. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles here for your overall energy. Queen of Pentacles does deal with security, specifically when it comes to your money and your resources. It can point to career and work. But also the Queen of Pentacles is about co-creation. It's about understanding your worth and your value, understanding what it is that you have and wanting to contribute and create and connect to the world. And you have a lot to contribute, a lot of creativity, and a lot that you can, and I think for you, maybe it's just about the connection part, trying to find the connection or connections, right? Because the 11th house deals with connections, networks, it deals with acquaintances, friends, right? You have the Nine of Pentacles here in your current energy at this time. Yeah, it's like, what do you want to do with the resources here that you have? Like, how do you want to grow and expand into things? Nine of Pentacles is like, yes, you can celebrate the results here that you've gotten in your life from your hard work, but you can actually take what it is that you have and you can double down on it, or you can take what it is that you have and you can make it greater. Yes, Nine of Pentacles does represent stopping and smelling the roses. Of course, do that. Enjoy your life. That's the Nine of Pentacles. It's very interesting that I don't hear a lot of people talk about how the 11th house deals with your ability to be able to enjoy society. The ability to be able to enjoy society. That's why it deals with groups, communities, networks. Also, 11th house has a lot to do with entertainment. It's either profit, income, or revenue the 11th house deals with. I know the second house deals with money, right? But I think the 11th house is actually, I think it's profit or revenue or income. I think it's revenue. Because 10th house, the fruition of success, your career, what you're known for, your work, the success you're getting. The 11th house is, you take some of that, you take some of what you got, right? Like some money that you made, and you go enjoy your life and your lifestyle. So I think you've outgrown a lifestyle as well, and there's a new lifestyle here being created in your life. I feel like Geminis are like, wow, like I just see Geminis like just being like, how does he know this? I could be too full of myself too, but that's what I see here in your read, Gemini. But it's about what you want to do next with, not even what you want to do next, it's just like, how do you want to keep growing and expanding? Because it's all about new stuff, which is good for you, Gemini, because the Page of Swords is very Gemini energy, just with curiosity, right? Page of Swords wants to reinvent things or invent things. It wants to take what it is that it's learned and revolutionize things. And I think that's something that you're doing here. Trying to find new ways, like the old ways of things. Just, I think you're out with the old, Gemini. You have the Seven of Wands here in the future position. I like the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands does with conviction, the ability to be able to stand on your own 2 feet with strength and confidence, and to push forward and fight for what it is that you believe in. Stand up for what it is that you believe in. Right? So, wow. I do get this message here for you, Gemini. You know, the Seven of Wands, if you actually read about the card, he actually runs out to defend the hill that he's worked hard to claim. And I pick up here that it's not that anybody's like challenging you here or anything like that, Gemini. But I just, oh my God, this is wild. I just see you here growing and expanding so much here in your life. I'm telling you, Gemini, that you're almost afraid, not even afraid, I don't think that you're worried or you're concerned about if you stay in a place that you've outgrown, they're going to pull you back. Or you're never going to be able to grow beyond that. So I see you here with the Seven of Wands, like really finding the inner strength and conviction here to rise higher here, or to move into something that provides more growth. Because it's so interesting how this is all connecting. You have the Hierophant here in the outcome position. The Hierophant represents wisdom, teaching, knowledge, learning from someone who has it. Right? So for instance, when you're ready to level up, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, like let's just say you want to take your business to the next level, right? You've outgrown something, right? Or yeah, it could be a career, job, whatever it is, right? A particular industry, space. The Hierophant's like, okay, I want to learn, so I'm gonna put myself in a new environment. And so you meet a Hierophant archetype, which someone there in that new environment is the one that's teaching, guiding, leading, and helping you level up. What is the Hierophant? The Hierophant is the revealer of the sacred, the revealer of sacred knowledge. So it's like you seek out a Hierophant, you seek out someone who has the knowledge. Teacher, mentor, guide. Right? This can come through the form of books, this has come through the form of seminars, webinars, this has come through the form of events, mentors, life coaches, right? But ultimately what they're doing here for you is helping you get started with the new ventures here that you have, or the new ventures here that you're wanting to get started with, right? So I see you having support here, Gemini. Also see your faith being strengthened as well. Specifically Jupiter does point to faith, and the Hierophant does as well. You pulled the Knight of Cups here in the position of something you're unaware of that you need to be aware of here. I think now's the time to really trust your heart and be vulnerable here, Gemini. What do I mean by that? Whenever we enter into something new, we're kind of the stranger. Whenever we enter into something new, we're kind of vulnerable. Like, before you ever posted a video on YouTube, if you ever done YouTube or TikTok or whatever, you had to allow yourself to be vulnerable to make a mistake, right? Or you had to allow yourself to have the courage, really, like it's courage to be vulnerable, to try something, right? Because there could be someone who does criticize you, like there could be someone who does have something negative to say. But it's like if you're worried about that, then they have control over you. They're stopping you from doing what you really want to do. And so it takes like vulnerability and courage to do something, try something, or lead from the heart with something, even though like you could deal with rejection. Clarify one of my favorite quotes by David Goggins is, "You'll never meet a hater doing better than you." You'll never meet a hater doing better than you. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. And that's so true. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles for the overall energy. You pull the Two of Cups here. I think another focus here overall for the week will be on, it could be friendships, relationships, connections. But one thing I really see improving here for you, Gemini, with the Two of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, is like this is about when you prioritize your own needs. So you could be really prioritizing your own needs, but it's also about when one gains inner confidence, one gains self-esteem, one gains self-worth. Second house deals with self-worth. That's where Jupiter is. That's where the Sun in Cancer is going to be. That's where the Sun conjunct Jupiter is going to be. So talk about your self-esteem, self-worth, possibly your money and your resources and your possessions all going through a glow-up. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles in your current energy. You have the Four of Wands here. I really sense here, Gemini, that, Four of Wands is about participating in things and like sharing, like being a part of something that's exciting, passionate. And it's about like sharing the excitement with other people, having fun and celebrating with other people. There's a lot of things here to celebrate in your life. I don't even think this Death card is negative in your read. Of course, everybody's situation is different, but I think this Death card is just marking a phase of just like some type of aspect of your life that is being transformed forever. Like for instance, when you're about to become a parent, right? Like some phase of your life is ending forever. Right, because there's a new thing happening. That's a pretty big deal, right? Clarify the Death card in your challenge. You pulled the Moon card here. I do pick up here, the Moon card can somewhat represent, it can somewhat represent this is what I feel intuitively. It can be nostalgia of the past. Death card can represent past events, past things that have withered away. The Moon card is the reflection on those things. Like if you think about the moon doesn't generate its own light, it reflects light. So it is a reflection. So it's like when you reflect emotionally on things, right? And you're like thinking, and the moon also deals with your subconscious mind, right? Like your mind. It's like you're reflecting on things that are in your mind about the past. But the Page of Swords as your advice is saying like, that's okay. Like, yeah, like remember the memories, but like you have so much good things here happening for you that it's a whole new thing happening. Clarify the Seven of Wands. You have these Seven of Pentacles here. You definitely know your value. You definitely know your worth. You worked very hard here. And so the Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles is about sustaining those results, maintaining those results, and preserving what you have established for yourself. Gemini, I feel like when this week ends and if you come back and watch this read, you'll be like, holy shit. Like he was saying stuff that I was tilting my head at, but you won't be tilting it anymore. You be like, yep, he was right. But I think Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles too is like, hey, remember how hard you've worked and how far you've come. And so the Seven of Wands is saying like, let that spur you on and spring you forward. Like this is not the time to take your foot off the gas here. Clarify the Hierophant in the future, or in the outcome. You have the Three of Wands here. I like the Three of Wands with the Hierophant because the Three of Wands signifies to me that you're ready to merge into something newer and that's bigger. That's the Three of Wands. And I see you moving forward with positive expectations, specifically with Jupiter here. But this is positive expectations, moving into something bigger, merging into something bigger, while you're also being confronted directly with a challenge, which I feel is the Hierophant. Why do I say the challenge is the Hierophant? Because the Hierophant's a 5, and 5s represent challenge, right? And so the challenge here for you is just having to learn the process, learning and applying the wisdom while you're moving into something bigger, right? It's going to be a little bit of test. You're going to have to learn along the way. Clarify the Page of Swords as your advice. You pulled the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, I mean, Seven of Cups, you have Death card, Moon card in the challenge. All right, things have ended, old cycles closing. Seven of Cups, new things I'm imagining, visualizing, idealizing. What do I really want? What sounds good? What feels good? What do I emotionally desire? Let me follow my curiosity. Let me tap into this newer vision. Clarify the Knight of Cups. You pulled the Devil card here. Okay. You have the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck as well. Nine of Swords, Devil card energy together can represent stress, worry, anxiety. It's really when like you're really focused on the negative aspects of the facts. I just broke something down in the Taurus reading about the negative aspects of the facts and the positive aspects of the facts. I would watch a Taurus reading, even if you don't have Taurus placements, and just see if you can find that part where I was talking about. Because I can't, it takes too long, but it will blow your mind. I think that the Knight of Cups deals with yielding. I don't even like to say the word surrender anymore. I don't like it. I like to say yield now. I don't think you'll ever hear me say the word surrender ever again. I say yield now. For my own reasons, but because surrender means, I'm not going to go into it, but yielding, right? So the Devil card is when you're holding yourself back with the Nine of Swords, like because it's the worry and the stress and the anxiety, and it's the negative constant feedback loop of something, right? That your heart and soul is desiring to do, but the mind is talking you out of it. The angel and the devil on your shoulder. You're gonna have to kick that devil off and listen to the angel. Because with the Knight of Cups, again, it's about being vulnerable and yielding, allowing yourself to align with your higher, with the higher thing that is flowing through you. Does that make sense? Like, for instance, you can have this yearning, or you can feel this intuitive pull to start a YouTube channel, but if you have a constant negative thought loop about how you're not good enough and it's just all this negativity, then it's like you'll never do it. It's not until you yield, like you allow yourself to yield and align with your higher vision, like let go and align yourself with that higher vision and stop trying to control everything, that like the magic can come through. So that's what I got for you, Gemini, in your reading. I think you've outgrown things, Gemini. Like the growth is rapid here. And I'm not saying like growth rapid in regards to like your growth being rapid in regards to you go from $0 to $1 million in 24 hours. That's like everybody's situation is gonna be different. Maybe that's the case for somebody. But let's just say, for instance, it could be something small, but whatever that small thing was like the one thing that was bugging you the most, right? So I hope that makes sense. I appreciate you, Gemini. I'm wishing you the best. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that link's down below in the description. If you click that link, it'll take you straight to my website, and then from there, you'll be able to purchase a read. You can ask me any question. We can get confirmation with your situation. If you need direction, clarity, guidance, I'm definitely here for you. I appreciate you, Gemini, and wish you the best, and I'll see you